And in Europe, bourses there moved lower on Friday morning as investors digested comments from ECB President Mario Draghi and fresh corporate earnings. Well, for more, I'm being joined by my colleague Daniel Coop right from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Hello, Daniel. Thank you very much for coming through to us. It's the last trading day of the week, and I'm happy you're ready to say thank God it's Friday, isn't that so?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jimmy. I guess everybody here on the market floor is also very excited for the start of the upcoming weekend.
Sure, looking forward to the weekend. Well, German energy engineering firm Siemens has decided to sell its majority stake in the Russian company following reports that 4 gas turbines built for a project in southern Russia were illegally moved to Crimea. How's the market digesting the Siemens move?
Well, let me tell you a little bit more about this story, actually, Jimmy. This actually started all in 2016 when Siemens, they sold basically 4 huge turbines to another company in Russia. The company is called TPE. It's a big company that is owned by the Russian state. What was happening by that time? I mean, first, there is nothing bad about, this kind of business. Siemens is heavily invested inside of the country, but what's happening then that TPA, they actually didn't bring those turbines to the south of Russia. That was the original plan. They were actually bringing it to the Crimean island. And the Crimean island, after it was basically taken over by Russia from the Ukraine, is a part now where actually all those sanctions are in place that were made by the European Union. So Siemens would have never been allowed to deliver a turbine to that company. Now, Siemens got word of that. They are very disappointed and also very mad about this issue. What they're actually saying now is that they are really rethinking about their Russian strategy to do business with the country in the future. They are already announced that at least by now they are not going to do any kind of business with companies owned by the Russian state. That's one of the measurements. On the other hand, they are also saying that they will basically stop working with another company called Inter Automotica, where Siemens is holding actually huge portions of. So that's just one part of the story. The other part of the story is, of course, that the Russian market is very important to Siemens. Siemens is doing big business there. They are, for example, working with one of the biggest train operators. They are building trains like we see here in Germany, also on the railways, such as the Intercity Express, a high-speed train that can go up to 350 kilometers per hour. So that's a big business. Siemens is also doing big business regarding to gas. Basically, whenever the biggest gas giant in Russia is planting a new gas facility inside of the country, Siemens has been always there to, to provide turbines, to provide compressors. So, of course, now for the moment, they have to react about this issue. But certainly, since the market in Russia for Siemens is so important, they will, of course, still doing business with Russia in the future. We also heard a reaction from the Kremlin today coming from Moscow. The Kremlin says that they are aware of this problem, but that it's basically an issue of Siemens with a Russian company and that they are not going to give any further comments about this.
Well, Daniel, I guess they will probably have to find a way to resolve the issues, because it definitely has some kind of implications for that company. Well, let's look at the earnings that are on the streets today, from Hems to Samsung and Vodafone, and of course energy heavies like ExxonMobil. Which of these earnings are moving the market needle?
Well, let me tell you first, the market, I guess you can see it very well in the background, quite a roller coaster today, and it's still moving mostly because of the ECB decision that was taking place yesterday, with basically a no change in the 0% monetary policy of the ECB. Because of this, we have a very strong euro currency today. We actually had the highest euro within 2 years, with more than €1.16. When something like this is happening, exports markets are usually a little bit suffering because this is making German products abroad more expensive. Because of that, we see actually falling share prices here today. You mentioned Vodafone. Let me give you some details about that. Vodafone came out with new quarterly numbers today, basically saying that in the last quarter they had a growth of more than 2.2%, mostly because of their business in Spain, Italy and Turkey. So that's the news about Vodafone. We don't really see a big market reaction because of this news. As I said, the market is mostly moving still because of the latest ECB decision.
Well, Daniel, just before I let you go, just a quick one. Quite a bit in the news this week regarding Turkey and Germany, and now an earthquake. Walk us through what you know and if the news is impacting the markets in any way.
Well, basically, the relation with Germany and Turkey, I guess you can really say that, are getting worse from every day on. And we actually had German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel saying today and also yesterday that he really sees those conditions right now also to do business in Turkey at not a very good stake. He was basically saying every company now has to rethink in the future if it's a good idea to do business with Turkey, and also that he was actually saying that every tourist really has to rethink if it's a good idea to travel there. We remember because of all those terror attacks mostly happening in Istanbul in the last month and also in the last year that the Turkish tourism has been suffering a lot because of that. This is most likely just another indication that sales of going there will drop even more. I can tell you a personal story as well. My sister is actually going in 2 weeks now to Turkey, and now we are also hearing that the German government, they didn't really give out a travel alert to go to Turkey, but they're saying that everybody has to rethink and to be more careful. So of course this is making many people here nervous. Turkey has been for a long time a big tourism partner of Germany, but the few people that have now booked vacations are now even more worried to go there. The other story, you mentioned the kind of tsunami that was taking place on the Greece island of Kos. We don't really see a direct market impact on that today, but of course whenever there is a natural disaster, whenever there is a certain political situation that is kind of unstable, everybody always at the market is watching this very closely because we know the psychology of the market. Whenever something like that happens and something dramatic could happen, this could be an indicator for the market to go down as well. So that's a wrap up of your latest business update here from Frankfurt. I wish you a beautiful weekend, Jimmy, and we'll be talking again very soon.
Sure, thank you very much, Daniel. And perhaps your sister may probably have to have a rethink and come on vacation here in Nigeria. She's most welcome. Enjoy your weekend.